Hey, everybody. It is Tuesday, 7/7/2020. I just wanted to go through a number of things real quickly. I'm looking at my other screen here for this week. So you have due tomorrow, the 8th, your FOMO. Thank you all for sending me your T-shirts and your pitch letters. I'm going to get those, working through those, getting those to you by hopefully the end of this week. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for getting all those done. A couple of things. So this week you have, this is YOLO, you only live once. So you have a couple of things. You have, I put up a letter of transmittal example. That's what we talked about last week in our meeting on Thursday. So there's an example up there. Take a look at it. That'll help you with your final report. Also, there is some information on marketing with FOMO, just in case you need a couple of final tips. Remember, you are creating two different ads basically for me. One that's instantaneous. In other words, you need to complete it. You need to create a sense of urgency for your customer. So it has to have a deadline that's fairly recent, fairly current. So in other words, the next couple of days to respond in order to take advantage of whatever offer you are making. So that's kind of what we call a sales promotion with the Cinderella coupon. A Cinderella means it expires at midnight or sometime around, a very quick expiration date. The other one is a extended expiration period that gets someone to do something so that they can continue to secure additional benefits and more rewards with the product, with the brand. And so that is all about rewarding the customer for loyalty and continued use of the product. So that's what you're doing for me with respect to FOMO. A couple of things under today's listing is your end of semester peer evaluation form. That is there at the bottom of today's listing, the little titanium block. And so what you need to do is evaluate your teammates and yourself. The way it works is fairly self-explanatory, but you allocate $100 towards each one of your teammates. If you feel that each one has contributed a certain amount, if it's $100, if they've contributed 100%, give them the $100. If you feel that they've contributed 80%, give them $80. You have a week to get that done, so that's due on the 14th next week, right? 14th? Yes, 14th. So get that uploaded. The second, and so that's your eval. So upload that. The box is right below that. The next thing is by the end of this week, you have a reflections report. I talked about that. It's worth 30 points. Talk to me. Basically, what I ask is to reflect the last 4 or 5, however many years it's taken you to complete your degree, or how many years it's taken you since you started to get your degree here at Fullerton, or maybe you transferred in from a community college. But talk to me about how the degree this degree will help you, how your experience was at Fullerton, how the last maybe year, the last semester with COVID, with everything gone virtual, how that may have impacted your career or your experience here at Fullerton. What do you expect to do next? What do you think your degree will allow you to do? And so those are the kinds of things. I'm looking for at least a minimum of 50 words, and you can upload that as well. That is due Friday, July 17th at 6 p.m., which is the end of the semester. So we have basically 2 weeks left. You have to do your FOMO report, the evaluation, and your reflections, and obviously you're working on your team report with the rest of your teammates. The last thing you have to do, according to your calendar, is you have to get me your final time report, a TimeFox, and that I would like done by the 14th as well. So please add in all the hours you have spent working on your T-shirt project, your pitch letter, your FOMO, your reflections if you want to. All the teamwork on the final report that you're working on, what you anticipate perhaps working on in the next week, get that done. Okay, so you're going to also just keep adding that time. Make sure you get to 20 hours. All of you were spot on with the 20 hours you did last semester, last time period. So make sure you hit that 20-hour mark, and you'll get the 25 points for that. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm trying to think if there's anything else right now. There's some really nice points in here in this week on, I gave you another example of what a campus agency does, some of the things that we could have done if we had obviously met together, but it is what it is. I also have some PowerPoint in there about documenting claims. The most important thing is that if you're going to make some kind of a claim saying that we believe that Samurai Academy can grow because it does this, you need to have a claim. That's a claim. You need to substantiate it. In other words, if you say that Samurai Academy can grow, tell me why. If you think that handles can grow or candles can do something else, you have to justify it. You have to substantiate your claim. So don't just give me some kind of a throw something out there. You have to have facts behind it. So make sure you justify and document all claims by giving some kind of actual facts or give some kind of an example. Okay. A couple of things then under my little box, it says Evana. There's some things about business ethics. Those are points that you need to probably go through, make sure that everything is done ethically, right? You know, you all know the difference between a right or wrong, but just make sure that you understand what you're doing here. Don't plagiarize, obviously. Never borrow someone else's work without giving them proper credit. So those are all some of the things that we suffer from because everything is so accessible today. You always have to make sure that you give credit to people. In the book that I just finished, that just got published, every photograph has credit. If I used a quote from somebody, I gave them credit. So all that, you just need to make sure that people are acknowledged for their work so that they don't think you're taking their material. Okay, intellectual property is such a big deal. That's probably about it. Another thing that is important, and I put this under corporate logos. A lot of companies are subtly changing their logos in the today's society of everybody being more socially responsible and politically correct. Obviously, the Redskins are looking at reviewing their name, and so are the Cleveland Indians. Those are things that are obviously going to impact people from now on. And we're looking at other corporate logos. Obviously, we've talked about Cream of Wheat and Uncle Ben's and Aunt Jemima. These are all factors that are going to have play a role as we go into marketing in the future. So you have to be sensitive about this. You have to think about your audience at all times. I've talked about this before, but always, that's the first thing you think about is how is this going to impact my audience? So just think about that. Think about the last things that you're putting together in this report. What is my audience going to feel, think, do, appreciate about the work we're doing for our client? Okay? And that's what I have so far. So make sure you get that FOMO report done. That's due on the 8th. And get that reflections and evaluations, your TimeFox, and then keep working on your report, which is due next Thursday. So a week from this Thursday is your report. We will have class this Thursday, and we'll discuss a few last-minute things for your final report, and that's it. As I told you, on Thursday, you don't need to do the PowerPoint, so just focus on writing that report. All right? That's about all I have today. Hope you are doing well. If you have any questions, always email me or send me a note via text if you have my number. Okay? Thanks. See you.